Today in this class we are going to discuss about the new chapter which belongs to the organic chemistry branch, that is haloalkanes and haloarenes. So for your examination from this chapter, the weightage of marks is 6 mark will be allotted for your examination, and it has 7 hours syllabus. So let's start with the aims and objectives of this chapter. What are the objectives? Definitely, after this studying this chapter, you will be able to naming the compounds of haloalkanes and haloarenes according to IUPAC rules by using their structures, and you will be able to describe the chemical reactions involved in the preparation of these kind of compounds, means haloalkanes and haloarenes. And lastly, you can understand the applications of haloalkanes and haloarenes. These are the aims and objectives. Firstly, let us understand what are haloalkanes and haloarenes. Yes, these are the class of organic compounds obtained by the replacement of one or more hydrogen atoms of hydrocarbon by the halogen atoms. I repeat once again. These are the class of organic compounds. How it will produce? It will obtained by the replacement of one or more hydrogen atoms of the hydrocarbon by halogen atoms. I'll give you one simple example. Just consider methane. This is one of the hydrocarbon. It can be written like this: carbon contain 4 hydrogen atoms. It is a simple hydrocarbon. From this hydrocarbon, halogens, first of all, let us understand what are halogens. You have seen in the periodic table, halogens group 17 elements are called halogens, such as fluorine, bromine, and nitrogen. So these are the halogens. The halogen containing organic compounds are called as haloalkanes, right? So if I take an example, methane as an example, this hydrocarbon contains 4 hydrogen atoms. Out of 4 hydrogen atoms, now I am going to replace one hydrogen atom from any of these halogen. Then it will become, suppose if I replace this hydrogen by chlorine, it will become haloalkane. Yes, it is chloromethane. The name of the compound is chloromethane, or simply we call it as methyl group. This is a methyl group, CH3 is a methyl group, and it is a halide group that is called chlorine. This methyl. This is a simple example of alkyl halide. How it will produce? It is obtained by the replacement of one or more hydrogen atom by any of the halogens, which gives alkyl halides. Or simply we can say halogen containing organic compounds are known as haloalkanes. I hope you understand. Many of and haloarenes means halogen containing organic compounds are naturally occur, and many of these are very useful in clinical field. And these halogen containing organic compounds are find very wide applications in industry and as well as in our day-to-day life. So I'll give you some examples which are very useful and important to the medical field and clinical field. For example, chloramphenicol. It is one of the halogen containing organic compound which is obtained in nature. It is very useful for the treatment of typhoid fever, and it contains halogen. Is chlorine. That halogen will be present in this chloramphenicol. It is one of the halogen containing organic compound. Secondly, chloroquine. It is also one of the halogen containing organic compound containing chlorine as an halogen. It is very useful for the treatment of what is that? Malaria. It is useful for the treatment of malaria, and it is also synthesized product in the laboratory. And hormone produced in our body, that is thyroxine. I hope you know this one. Thyroxine is one of the hormones produced by the thyroid gland. It is also an halogen containing organic compound. In this thyroxine, the halogen present is iodine. The iodine will be present in this thyroxine hormone, which is produced by thyroid gland. The deficiency of this thyroxine leads to the disease, causes the disease, that is goiter. And then next, halothane. It is also one of the halogen containing organic compound, which is used as an anesthetic content during surgical process in the medical field. And lastly, some fluorine contain fluorinated compounds. Fluorinated compounds can also be used as an potential blood substituents during surgery. So these are all the halogen containing organic compounds which are very useful in clinical field. So that's why we are going to study this chapter, haloalkanes and haloarenes. Firstly, I can divide this chapter into two parts. Haloalkanes and haloarenes. First we'll study this one. After this we'll go to that one. So let us start with in this chapter actually. Firstly, we're going to study the classification of haloalkanes, how they are classified, on what basis, on different categories. We're going to classify them, and after that we're going to study the nomenclature of the haloalkanes. Nomenclature means how to name the compound by using IUPAC rules. And after the nomenclature, we're going to study the preparation of these compounds, how these compounds are prepared by other compounds. And after that preparation, we're going to study the physical and chemical properties of these compounds. And lastly, we'll study the applications of these haloalkanes. Let's start with the first one, that is classification of haloalkanes. I hope you understand what are haloalkanes. Haloalkanes are, simply we call it as alkyl halide. We can also call this haloalkane as alkyl halide. Alkyl halides are obtained by, these are the halogen containing organic compound. These are obtained by the replacement of one or more hydrogen atoms of the hydrocarbon by the respective halogen, which gives respective alkyl halides. We'll discuss in detail throughout the chapter. Let's start with the classification. Let's start with the first one, that is first concept, that is classification of haloalkanes. On what basis we are going to classify? First of all, the haloalkanes are classified into three types. First one is monohaloalkanes. Secondly, dihaloalkanes. Third one is polyhaloalkanes. Right. On what basis we are going to classify these three haloalkanes? Of course, on the basis of number of halogen atoms. Based on the number of halogen atoms, we are going to classify these three types of haloalkanes. Here, these X represent halogens, such as it may be chlorine, bromine, and iodine. So, X represents the general formula for these halogens. Let's start with the first one, monohaloalkanes. Of course, as the name told, monohaloalkanes means this class of compound contains only one halogen. Only one halogen will be present in this type of compound. For example, I give you general formula for this monohaloalkanes. The definition is, these are the compounds which contain only one halogen atoms in their molecule. That is the definition. The general formula for this monohaloalkanes will be CnH2n plus 1x. This is the general formula. By using this formula, we can collect the members of that group of haloalkanes. Here C represent carbon, H represent hydrogen atom, and X represent halogen atoms. Here N represent integer. 1, 2, 3, 4, like this. If you put the values of N here, it will give the homologous series of haloalkanes. Let's see. I will give you the value of N equals to 1. The compound will be C1H2. Instead of this N, we put 1. 2 ones are 2, 2 plus 1, 3. CH3X. So this is called methyl halide. So for X, you can choose any of these halogen. For example, CH3Cl, methyl chloride. If you give N equals to 2, you C2. 2 2s are 4 plus 1, 5. So H5. C2H5. I will take another halogen, that is ethyl bromide. Methyl chloride, ethyl bromide. And if you put the value N equals to 3, the compound will be C3, and 2 3s are 6, 6 plus 1 7, C3H7. For X, I take iodine. That gives propyl iodine. This is a propyl iodine. So we can write like this: CH3, CH2. Yeah, this is ethyl bromide. This can be written as CH3, CH2, CH2, propyl iodide. So these are all the monohaloalkanes which are obtained by according to this formula. Like this, you can get more and more number of compounds belongs to this monohaloalkanes. Monohaloalkanes means these are the class of compounds which contain only one halogen atom in their molecule. So this is the general formula of this monohaloalkanes. These are all the examples: methyl chloride, ethyl bromide, propyl iodide. Now let us move on to the second one, that is dihaloalkanes. Yes. First of all, dihaloalkanes means these are the compounds in which contain two halogen atoms in their molecule are called dihaloalkanes. Based on the number of halogen atoms, we can classify these dihaloalkanes into two types, that is geminal dihalides and second one is vicinal dihalides. Come to this one. What are geminal dihalides? First of all, it is one of the dihaloalkanes. Means definitely it contains two halogen atoms. But what is geminal dihalide? So these are the one of the dihaloalkane which contain two same halogen atoms. Which contain two same halogen atoms on same carbon atom. This is the definition. This is the important point for the definition of geminal dihalides. These are the dihaloalkanes which contains two same type of halogen present on the same carbon atom. Let's see one example. You can understand easily. Here CH2. This is the example for geminal dihalide. This is example. So we can write IUPAC name for this compound. Of course, you can remember the IUPAC rules for naming any organic compound. You have already studied in your first PUC syllabus about naming an organic compound by using IUPAC rules. So I simply tell you the basic rules for naming any compound. We need these three. That is, first one is root word. Second one is suffix. Third one is prefix. Isn't it? So here the root word represents obviously the long chain, the number of carbon atoms present in the long chain, and suffix represent in that long chain whether they are single bond or double bond or triple bond present in that long chain, that represents suffix. And the prefix obviously represents the position of the substituents present in that long chain. Here obviously this is the long chain, the two carbons are there. For two carbons we have you can take ETH is the root word for the two carbon atoms, and suffix in this chain there is only one bond, that is a single bond will be there. That's why you have to take ane, ethane. And what about prefix? Prefix obviously it represents substituents. Here the two substituents are there. Now the question is, on which side you are going to numbering the chain? Either this side or that side? Definitely from that side, right side. Why? Because where the substituent get least number, you can go through that side. Definitely when you give the numbers to this chain from right side, the two chloro groups will get a least number. So that is the right. So here the position, both the chlorine atoms are present on the same position. Here the first position. So you can take 1, 1. Here the two substituents are there. So we use numerical prefix, that is di. For chlorine atoms, for that substituent we use chloro. So that is. So this is the IUPAC name for that compound, that is 1, 1 dichloroethane. So this is the IUPAC name according to that rule. So this is the geminal dihalide. I repeat once again, geminal dihalides are the compounds of dihaloalkanes in which the two same halogen atoms, here chloro chloro, two same halogen atoms are present on the same carbon atom. That's why it is called geminal dihalides. And the second one is vicinal dihalide. It is also one of the dihaloalkanes in which the two same halogen atoms are present on adjacent carbon atoms, neighboring carbon atoms, called as vicinal dihalides. Vicinal dihalides is one of the dihaloalkanes, and here which contain two same type of X represent what halogen atom, two same type of halogen atoms present on adjacent carbon atoms, known as vicinal dihalides. For example, CH2. This is the example for vicinal dihalide. The name of this compound is, obviously this is the root word, eth, two carbons are there. There is no double or triple bonds, that's why we use ane for single bond. Then the two substituents are there present on both the sides. Here you can go through either this side or that side for numbering. So I can go through this one. So root word is eth. Suffix is ane for single bond. Prefix is two substituents are there. It's 1, 2. Both are same. 1, 2 dichloro. This is the IUPAC name. 1, 2 dichloroethane. This is IUPAC name of this compound, and it is an example for vicinal dihalide. Why? Here the two same halogen atoms are present on the adjacent carbon atom. So that's why it is called vicinal dihalides. And let's move on to the third one, that is polyhaloalkanes. Polyhaloalkanes means poly means many, more than two. So these are the class of organic compounds which contain more than two halogen atoms. More than two halogen atoms are present in this compound. That's why they are called polyhaloalkanes. For example, this one CCl4, what we call carbon tetrachloride, and CHCl3, chloroform or trichloromethane or chloroform. This is carbon tetrachloride or tetrachloromethane. These are the two examples for polyhaloalkanes. So these are all the classification of haloalkanes based on the number of halogen atoms. How many halogens are present on those molecules? On that basis we are going to classify these haloalkanes. I hope you understand. Thank you.